Today we're recording on Gadigal country.
And we'd like to pay our respects to the traditional custodians of the Gadigal people.
I know you're gonna dig this.
It's like I've been given like an extra sprinkle of something.
You got layers.
Yeah, I got layers.
I was just thinking, I'm like, we're just such beautiful storytellers.
You're making a lot of sense today, girl. No, I'm done.
Let's jump into it, honest to God. Let's talk Valentine's Day. First things first.
Who pranked someone on Valentine's Day?
That
What did you
is a
think
bit
of it?
savage. It is a bit savage, I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
What was going through Danny's mind?
I don't know if anything was because, look, I at first thought, oh my God, like what is happening? He put this blindfold on me. I knew this camera was set up, so I thought something cute was happening.
Yeah. You honestly thought Beyonce tickets.
I thought Beyonce tickets, but I also said a few other things that he cut out. Like I was like, what are you doing? Like, did you make something? Did you cook? Like I just thought that it was going to be something cute. And then when it wasn't, like there's such a mix like bag of emotions for me with this. So like at first I was like, what the fuck's going on? Like, oh, he can't be proposing. Like, is this actually happening? Like,
Yeah.
I just thought, oh, that's a bit too soon. Like, that's the first reaction I had was like, oh, I don't know if like this is the moment, you know?
Okay.
Which,
Because you saw, like, so he takes you take the blindfold off.
yeah. And
He's on
in
one
his voice, it sounded so sincere. It sounded like he was going to cry. So his voice was like, you know, you deserve so much more than this and everything. And I was thinking, oh my God, like, is he actually going to do this? And I was like, wait, what? Did you hear my voice? I was like, what? Like that's like
Matty.
where my emotion was. It was so like, what? What's happening? And then when the box came around and there was an egg in it,
And then
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, is this actually happening? And then I got pissed off because I was like, you're playing with my feelings a little bit. And then it went from that to being really funny. Afterwards, I laughed for so long. Like, I laughed for probably like a good 5 minutes after being angry. But then everyone started sliding into the DMs and made almost like influenced what I had then accepted.
already got over. Yeah.
Got over and accepted as, okay, stupid, funny prank. Then everyone was messaging me saying this is cruel. So then my mind goes, yeah, this motherfucker. This is cruel. This is cruel. This is cruel. So now I'm back in this like, I feel sorry for myself, you know? Like I'm like, oh, yeah, he shouldn't have done that. And I think that because of everyone else's reaction and how much they probably hated it for me,
Yeah.
I then became even deeper.
I'm not going to lie. I definitely did feel that as well.
Yeah.
Because
everyone
like
did.
I know like love is so important to you and like obviously a proposal is such a grand gesture and like I've had like, you know, I've been proposed to. So I like
What did you do in that moment? Can I just ask? Like, how did it actually feel?
I'll talk about the second time because the first time was like just more of a like
It's happened twice?
yeah. The first time was like more of a cover up and of like a like fixed relationship kind of
Band-Aid?
thing. Yeah.
Yep.
And then like 3 months later we end up breaking up. And then the second time, I guess the second time I probably want to talk to him a bit more because like I don't know. I felt like those two moments like took away my big moment.
Okay.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think I think women, not all women feel this way, but I think a proposal is really important to a woman and how it's done because I guess that's also a societal push thing as well.
Yeah.
Like it's like this grand gesture. So I can imagine like how I would feel in that situation and I felt for you because it's like, it's not one on Valentine's Day, like any other day, sure. But then I'm like, a prank on Valentine's Day.
It was like 3 days before, just to be honest. It was 3 days
Oh,
before.
okay.
So it wasn't on Valentine's Day, but then he posted it before Valentine's Day, like the day before. So
Yeah,
it was
okay.
before, but it was.
But even around that time,
Totally.
it's just like everyone's
Yeah.
like saying love. Like there are actual like legitimate like engagements happening around
Yeah,
that time.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like you're probably like maybe, you know, there's some comparison culture going on and you're like, oh, like that's cute.
And you know
like,
what?
want
His
that,
his
but-
actual reaction to me to talking about this. So basically, on Valentine's Day, he
Yeah.
didn't post anything.
Oh.
So he posted that video the day before Valentine's
and
Day.
then nothing. Like
and then
love
nothing.
you, Matty. Like
And then nothing. So for me, I'll tell you something. So I went to see a show Friday night, Valentine's Day. Yeah, that was Friday. Yeah, Friday. And it was Chris in our news show, Hadestown.
Yeah.
And I was in the crowd watching the show, and my focus should have been on the show, but all I was thinking was, I wonder, because my phone was on flight mode, I was like, I wonder by the time if I get out of this show, has he posted anything? It's been all day. So I was hoping that maybe he would have posted something to share his love for me, right? He didn't. And so I got home and I was like, hey, I just want you to know something. I feel a little bit like sad, actually, that I, posted a nice video of us and like some like cute memories and created this reel. And you haven't posted anything other than the prank video. And now everyone's reaction to that, plus you not posting something nice and genuine and cute.
To counter out like the prank.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I think that if you posted something that was opposite to that, I would have felt like, oh, okay, you know what? But he didn't. So I ended up telling him that. And then we ended up having like a bit of an awkward moment where he was like, well, it doesn't matter about how other people see us. It's about how I treat you and how this, this holiday, this day is so commercialized.
Yeah,
but,
it is. And
I get that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he is not hearing what I'm saying to him. So I'm saying to him, I feel sad, right? So if I feel sad and you're just telling me all the excuses as to why you didn't do it, wouldn't you just think to yourself, oh, okay, babe, you know what?
Sorry.
I'll post something.
Yeah, yeah. Or
if that's going to make you feel nice, I'm going to post something. But he's not big on like doing things for...
But can I ask a question? So like, him doing that prank video, did he kind of get your approval to post that up? Or
Yes, he did.
Okay.
He did.
Okay.
And that's when I was
That's
in
good.
funny land. That's when I was like, oh my God, that is so funny.
okay.
And I'm so glad I chucked the egg at you because everything was a natural reaction.
Yeah, I saw that in you.
And I was like, this mother effer, like, and chuck the egg,
Did you not think of to do a prank back?
Well, I have. And I said to him, I will get you back.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what it is, okay? So...
All right, if you are listening, message Matty and tell him
I've
what
got
prank he should
I've
do.
got the best.
Oh, okay.
I've got the best
Are we
one.
adding it?
I'm
But
going
what
to
if Jenny
tell you.
listens to the
I'm going
podcast?
to tell you, but the edit is going to stop here, okay? Really quickly. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like he's... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... And I'm going to be like... Payback's a bitch, isn't it?
Guys,
Isn't that good?
That's good.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
And I workshopped this with people at my work at SBS.
No, that is...
We sat around and I was
that
like,
is
how
good.
can I get him back? So I'm going to get him back. Because he wants to play with some big emotions. Guess what? So can I.
Guys, it's good. I think
I'm going to be
I think
Petty
you've done
LaBelle.
really well. Yeah. You know what? I'm here for it. I'm really here for it.
It's a
like,
good one.
I've never been pranked this valid. Like, no.
And he knows it's coming, but I said to him, it won't be anytime soon because I don't want you to get like, wind of it. But I said, I will get you back.
It adds a bit of spice to a relationship, though, like in sense.
But then
like,
he's super offended and deletes the video.
Well, yeah, on a light-hearted note, like, you have this banter with your partner, which is like really special. And then but when is it too far,
I think maybe the egg was, honestly.
I also just think like you guys are going through this journey of like baby and surrogacy, and just an egg just is not like the right.
Yeah, totally.
I can imagine like a vibrator or like a condom or something.
The whole idea was that the egg was expensive. Eggs are expensive these days, and so it was like a play on...
avocados. Like do an avocado.
Yeah.
They're fucking expensive.
Speaking of avocados, you know what I fucking hate? When you open an avocado and it's not ripe. Because you can't fix that shit. It's hard and it goes in the bin. But anyway, Valentine's Day. Tell me how I saw.
It is commercialized a little bit, though. Yeah. But I get around it.
I'm like, you 100% get around it because you normally have your gals and galentines.
Gays and galentines.
Gays and galentines.
Yeah, the last 3 or 4 years I've held a galentine. So when I first moved to Melbourne in 2021, just before the Bachelorette, I actually came to Melbourne for a galentines. And it was with all First Nations women, so it was pretty cute. Yeah, we just like booked an Airbnb and like it was in Collingwood, so that's sort of, I get around the girls because I don't think I've really had a Valentine.
Yeah.
Like a proper Valentine. Yeah.
So what about this year?
This year's a bit
Is
different.
love is in the air or?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that year I had a very weird Valentine, but yeah.
But you go super cutesy with your Valentine like event. Like you do the colours, the roses, the pink little things. I saw on your story. I was like, cute.
Yeah. Well, this year I did have a Valentine, but they weren't in Melbourne.
Oh.
So I still got around the girls, I organised a little Valentine's thing, and I just sort of said to a few group chats that I have with some people, if you don't have a Valentine, like come over and like we'll just have like drinks and snacks, and
Cute.
it's all kind of themed. I don't know. I just
So you
think,
said getting around the girls.
yeah.
Was that a hint at maybe?
She's back.
She's back.
I literally like have this like that like vision of myself literally walking in slow motion, like
Yeah.
throwing a paper in the air, and all of it is just like I'm back. Like,
Ooh.
like
I'm back, bitches.
she's back. She's back on the girl train. I mean, I've been back a little bit. Come on, like give me some grace.
Yeah. Do you ever feel pressure because of how people see you in terms of being bisexual or pansexual? Do you ever feel pressure that like if you haven't been with someone of the same sex that you're going to be labelled like not that?
I think maybe like from a societal pressure.
Yeah.
And I've read a lot of books around bisexuality and TV, and I've never really I didn't really care for it, to be fair, in terms of like the views and everything that they have like as a bisexual woman, because it kind of just gets dismissed, you know. It's like, oh, they're just confused or they're greedy, and just all these perceptions that you have on a bisexual woman. Like I just never felt, honestly, like as much as I was the bisexual bachelorette, the word bisexual never really like just really felt like a whole of me.
It sounded great for the title though.
Yeah,
Bisexual
but they have
bachelorette, you know, that sounds nice. The
Brooke
BB,
Blurton.
yeah, exactly.
Literally 4 Bs.
So they would have really capitalized on that sound.
Because they actually asked me, if anything, if we go back in time, and they, you know, they're like, what do you want to be titled? And I was like, well, you're only casting men and women, so I can't really, you know, title myself a pansexual bachelorette because you're not really being gender diverse.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Non-binary.
There's no
trans,
non-binary people on the show. So I was kind of confined to that label in a sense.
Yeah.
But when I think about my footy days and my like queerness and growing up with a lot of queer women playing footy, like no one was like, hey, I'm Alicia, I'm bisexual. Or like, hey, I'm Jane Doe and I play forward, but I'm also bisexual. Like no one was like that.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, I'm my name and that's
Mine was,
it.
hey, I'm Matty and I'm definitely straight.
Like,
No, but yeah, I feel
you know
like
what I mean? Like,
yeah,
no one,
yeah.
you know, me doing my TED Talk in 2019 and was like, how do you introduce yourself? That really mattered to me because I felt like how I ever like introduced myself wasn't really how people saw me.
Yep.
And I felt like The Bachelorette just really like exacerbated that and like that feeling of like, oh fuck, I just feel like I'm not in the driving seat. Like I feel like I'm just a passenger to these titles and it's fine. But anyways, going on a tangent now, but
you're right.
I feel like I have like a specific like specific girl or type when I want to date women. And it's like for me it just like someone needs to spark like a visceral reaction.
What
and, like,
sort of reaction? Like what is visceral reaction mean?
Like honestly everything.
Like
butterflies, like intensity of like I'm attracted to them. I know that I'm attracted to them. Like I actually like look at them and like I want to kiss them. And I don't even have that with men like at all. Like I literally feel like I'm putting up with men. Like in a sense. But like I have had that attraction, but that's come later. But for specific women, it has to have this like for me, and I feel like I'm in a oh god.
What?
Yeah, anyways, I had that.
I'm opposite you looking at you and pretending that no one else is in studio.
No.
Giving you the cue of like, are you going to introduce?
Yeah, well, I had that with someone and it's such a weird and unusual like story in a sense. But I saw this girl and, you know, I made this like really subtle video like to let her know that I like her. And today it was bringing your girlfriend to work day today.
Ooh.
So my new girlfriend, Mia, is in studio.
Oh, welcome, Mia.
Hello.
I was going to say like Mia, like missing in action, but she's here now.
Definitely not missing in action.
Not missing in action. Look, I've tried to get my boyfriend to come on this pod for so long. Like I'm talking about maybe a year. Still hasn't happened. So, I mean,
Yeah, how
it's
did
a hard launch, one day in and fresh. You're here.
One day in.
Yeah. I only asked Mia yesterday, which was quite cute. So
I love this
We're
so
a
much.
one-day exclusive.
So I want to go back to the video because you told me about this video when we finished the Apple podcast. And we were sitting there and we were debriefing and she was like, I did this video. And I was like, okay.
She says it's subtle. It was like the least subtle thing.
I feel like it was subtle to like my general audience,
Right.
but like to Mia, it was not very subtle. It was like this like silly video. It was like a message to Santa being like, hey, like still literally waiting for like my present. Like I've been waiting. And I honestly feel like I said this to Mia.
How did you know it was for you though? Like I need to
Yeah.
understand the link between you creating
Okay.
something, putting it on your story and you going, she's speaking
No,
to me.
it's because literally 30 minutes before she had followed me on all platforms.
Yeah.
Oh, good
that
hint.
was pretty
Good
pretty-
hint.
Commented on my TikTok, liked two of my TikTok
Yeah.
videos. And then once I followed her back, half an hour later, there was this story that she put up being like, yeah, hey, Santa, I just wondering, like, why has my present been delayed 3 years? I'm looking for a 5'4" brunette with, like,
Nice eyes.
brown eyes or whatever. And I was like, and I
Girl.
called my best mate and I was like, is this Play About Us?
Have you read this script?
I was like, what? Yeah. I was like, I have to take the bait.
Yeah.
I kind of got your height wrong though, because I think I said 5'3".
Oh, 5'3", yeah.
Yeah,
no, I'm 5'4".
but you're 5'4".
I mean,
but
how were you supposed to know my height?
I just took a guess, and you know, a leap of faith. So I didn't get it correct, but you know, I
You were in
shot my
ballpark,
shot.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, fuck your 6'5" blue eyes guy works in finance. I was like, this is what I want. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was,
yeah. Okay,
I was
that's
pretty direct.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like a bit more subtle to the general public, again, like to my audience. Like
Yeah.
they would be like, oh yeah, this is just some queer shit that Brooke's posting, like whatever.
yeah.
And not thinking that it would be for anyone.
Yeah.
And Mia knew. And it was good because then I didn't think she would get it or like care enough to like get it.
So obvious.
But your response was like such gold. I was like, fuck, okay. I cannot beat this in a sense. She comes back, she's like, hey, Santa called. Something about a delayed present? And it got me. I was like hooked after that. I was like, humor is like one of the most attractive things. And
I
Mia
love
is
that. Did you
hilarious.
reply to the story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was my slide.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
I like it.
I know.
That's a ballsy like line to throw out, and then you just came back and you're like, yeah, I got
Yeah.
it.
But
Yeah.
can we talk about how, can we talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
our
You
first
go-
date?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Would love to know.
No, the first date that didn't happen.
No.
Yeah.
No, so
Did you know of Brooke?
yes,
Yes.
but I didn't follow her.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I'd seen The Bachelorette, but I hadn't seen really anything else. So like when we were talking, I think we established that pretty quickly, but then she was like, oh, I'm literally moving back to Melbourne in like 2 weeks. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's annoying. But yeah, so I was like, okay, I need to see her before she goes because I don't want it to fizzle.
Yeah.
So we had like nice banter, but I was like, can't fizzle. So I was trying to like lock her in, but she was filming at the time, so she was like super busy.
Yep. Yep.
Anyway, somehow like I did, we planned this date. So then like on the day comes and I said to Brooke, I've organised like, let's do a picnic. I was like, you've had a big week. Let me take the reins. I'll organise it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went, I've got a freaking picnic basket. I packed this like whole,
I know.
I know, I packed this whole picnic.
Yeah.
And during the start of the day, she was like, oh, can we do like 3? And I was like, yeah, sick.
Yeah.
Because she was literally moving to Melbourne the next day.
Yes.
So we
okay.
planned it the night before, which I kind of was like, oh, that's pushing it. But I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, she organised it for 3. And then she was like, I'm still packing. Can we push it back to 6? And I was like, yes, sweet. 6, we'll do a sunset thing. I'm
Yeah.
here for it.
At Barangaroo?
Yeah, because that's where I was
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
picturing
yeah.
like, Barangaroo Reserve.
So then it gets to 5:30, I kid you not. And I'm still like, she should have left by now. But I was like, whatever, like, fashionably late, but it's all good. It gets to like 5:30 and I cop this message being like, super stressed. I'm not going to make it. Like, I'm really sorry. Which it was a genuine message. I'm not going to lie. Like, I did.
Yeah, I was like,
could tell she felt bad, but she's like, anyway, she's like, I'm really sorry, but if you ever find yourself in Melbourne, let me know. Otherwise, are you free in March? And this was December.
She's like, I'll book you for Mardi Gras.
March. I was like, March. My date went from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. to March. I was like, that's far.
Wild.
Like March. I'm like supposed to wait around till March. I was like, oh God. I was upset. I was like, damn it. But I was like, whatever. What is meant to be will be. And then we just kept in touch.
Yeah.
Mind you, like my thinking around it was that, you know, I potentially was going to move in Sydney.
Yeah.
March was like my locked in sort of like date, but now things have sort of like changed a little bit with work, which I kind of knew as well.
Yeah.
But I knew I'd be back in Sydney at some point. So my mentality was like I could have met up with you, like, and I just think that I would have been like not a very good version of myself because you saw my apartment. Like I had to pack that whole thing up. I was a bit stressed. And then drive like 8 hours back to Melbourne. So like
I had the best idea. You should have asked her to go on the drive with you. That's what you should have done.
That's a huge U-Haul.
That's a huge date. Let's get to know each
God,
other. 8 hours in the car. Would have been fucking perfect. You would have either really liked each other by the end, or you would have been like, nah, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah, otherwise, like I'd get to Melbourne and then like part ways.
Yeah,
like,
you're
I'm just going to find myself a hotel.
Yeah, good. Fly home now.
Bye. Bye.
No, that actually road trips sound really fun. I would actually have
Yeah,
loved that.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
that would be
and
crazy.
I did say this to Mia later. Like, I'm glad that, you know, well, our first date ended up being on FaceTime, which I didn't want. Hey, like, I was like, no, like, I was in my mind, I was like, no, I want our first time to be, like, really present and I want to be in person. Like, I want her to gauge that I'm in it, you know what I mean? And, yeah, anyways, our first date was on FaceTime. It was very cute. And then we just kept chatting from then. And then I was like, hey, having my birthday. Do you want to just come? And honestly, this is the whole thing. If they want to, they will. And I'm not a very
But
good...
she could have had that same response to the date.
Thank you.
Yes, I agree. I was literally going to say that. Like,
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
doubt, like, yeah, that was probably giving very flaky vibes, but which was the opposite of what I wanted to give you. Was like I wanted to let you know. But anyways, she booked flights straight away and was like, I'm coming.
How nice.
And I was like, all right, great. Do you want to come stay with me?
Yep.
Stayed with me, my friends, my family, met my dad.
Baptism of fire. It was everyone in the room.
Yeah.
How great though.
was the
Like
best.
that gives you such a snapshot of Brooke's world.
It was, it was honestly the best weekend.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, it's a highlight of my 2025
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
still riding that high.
I'm still riding
So
that
fun.
high. Like, my birthday was
Yeah.
just so special. Like,
Beautiful.
yeah, I'm still remembering the words that you said at
Yep.
dinner. Like,
Yep.
it was so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, fast forward, it's honestly not been obviously that long in terms of, but when we calculated it in lesbian years, we're like, yeah, it's been a while.
she goes,
In lesbian years, I can't.
Yeah, we're trying to work out like how, because we spent 4 days with each other.
Yeah.
And so she was like, okay.
How many dates would be in
Yeah,
that?
how many dates would be that? She's like, okay, so like a normal date goes like 5 hours. We spent 4 days together. And so we like kind of did the math. And she's like, so we've kind of been on like 15 dates.
Ooh.
I'm like, 15 dates? Why aren't we married?
Yeah. 15 dates, that's a lot.
That's a long
Yeah.
time.
But you live in Sydney
Yeah.
and Brooke's in Melbourne.
I know.
So you it will take a little bit longer to, get to know each other in terms of like spacing out when you'll be together. And I think that might be a good thing, you
Very
know.
good thing for lesbians.
And gays as well, trust me. Like
Yeah.
gays are the same.
Really?
You know, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, we're very quick, like I am. I'm like, if I've dated someone for at least 2 months, then I would want to move in with them. You know, I've been like that. So I think that I'm quick like that. I think a lot of gay men are.
Really?
Yeah.
I've had a lot of gay men like pay me out for how
Oh, really?
quick,
Oh.
lesbians move.
I mean, lesbians are quicker, for sure. Like, they're like, 1 month.
We kept saying every time we FaceTime, we FaceTime every night, but every time we'd FaceTime, we'd be like, we're not U-hauling it, we're not U-hauling it, we're not U-hauling it.
What would a U-Haul look like if you did?
I would have someone would have moved already.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's difficult because, like, my whole house is set. Not that your house is not set up, but, like, I've got
other people in
other
there.
people to be responsible for as well, in a sense. So it'd be harder for me to move to Sydney. But, I mean, it would be a conversation of, like...
Yeah.
But I
Why don't you go to Canberra? Kidding.
I
Halfway.
have work in Sydney and, like, But anyways...
Are you doing Mardi Gras together?
We haven't really even spoken about Mardi Gras.
No.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Yeah.
I only just asked Mia to be my girlfriend yesterday as well. Like, officially. Like, both exclusive.
How did you do it?
So cute.
I'll let Mia take this.
Okay. I'm excited.
If people are interested. Look, to be fair, I'd already started saying, like, my partner, my girlfriend. Like, I'd sort of cut my ties, cleared the fucking roster.
Yeah.
I was like,
Love it.
I'm all in, baby. Like, I was, like, having these real, like, cutthroat conversations. Like, goodbye.
Good. I love this.
You'd hope
And
so.
so, well, Cass, I literally did that in the first FaceTime. I was like, all right. I was like, I'm in a tizzy here. I'm in a bit of a tizzy.
No, but take some time sometimes to,
Well, I just don't want I would never, ever fucking want to, like, hurt me at all. And I also, like, and I think that's a really good conversation to have. Like, we were kind of making up this random comedy skit where, like, someone, like, really surprises you, like, and asks you out, and you're like, you say yes, and then you're, like, in the toilet. No.
Trying to clean
bye,
your stuff.
delete, like, see you later.
That's great. I
But,
love
like,
it.
it's
What
funny.
a funny thing to
That's
visualize.
not what I was doing, just to clarify.
No.
But it had been an interesting process because I'm, like, a very friendly person as well. And, like, I get a lot of messages. And I'm like, every time someone would message, I'd be like, hey, yeah, it would be great to hang, but just letting you know, like, I'm seeing someone and I'm in a relationship, or, like, and I started already having those conversations. And then I actually hadn't asked Mia yet.
Okay.
So I asked her yesterday, and anyways, do you want to tell them how I asked you?
Yeah, so cute. I was at work and Brooke messaged me and said, hey, what time are you going to be home? I'm going to go for a run. And I was like, I'll be home like 5:30. And she's like, okay, sweet, plenty of time. I was like, amazing. Anyway, I get home and I open the door and she's like looking like a little doll. I was like, okay, that's not giving I just went for a run. I was like, oh, I guess she didn't. Anyway, she was all like giddy and like all sprightly, and I was like, hey. And just like behind her on my kitchen bench was like this huge bouquet of flowers and a wine, cupcakes, and these 3 envelopes. And I know, it was so cute. And I was like, and to be honest, I thought this was like a late Valentine's Day gift.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get to like spend Valentine's Day together. So I was like, okay, perfect. Like we're just
Catching up.
Yeah. So that was straight away what my mind went to. And I was like, oh, that's really sweet.
There wasn't an egg prank that was coming.
No, maybe that's later.
God.
But yeah, I walked up to the bench and there was like these cupcakes and it said that she had like iced them and wrote in like icing.
I thought if I start off with something like really pathetic and funny, she'll have no inkling onto what's going to happen.
Yeah. And so the cupcake said, you're cute. I like you a lot, with a little love heart. And I was like, oh, sweet.
That's really cute.
Yeah. And then there was 3 cards and it said option 1, option 2, option 3. And she's like, okay, like we're going to go on a date night tonight. There's 3 options and you can choose where you want to go. I was like, okay, cool. So I opened option 1 and option 1 was just like, we'll eat in, I'll cook you something and we'll just like watch apple cider vinegar and have a nice date night in.
Yep.
The second one was second envelope and it was like, we can go to the Oxford House and like have a hotel stay. I was like, yeah.
Lush.
I was like, lovely. And that was really cute. And I was like, oh, like, I was like, 3 options. This is so cute. And then the third card, I opened it. Oh my God, I'm going to cry. The third card, I opened it and it was like,
I know, every time it gets me.
I know, it gets me. It's just been a rough time, so it's just really nice. But third card I opened and it was like, you can make me the happiest girl in the world. Will you be my girlfriend? B.
Wow.
And I was like, I tell you, like my jaw hit the floor. I was like,
I videoed it as well.
You're
so
looking
you can
for the third option.
I
Like
was like,
the
what?
date.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I literally, I was like, are you and I just started crying, and then she's like, how do you feel? Are you good? Are you sad? Are you happy? Are you nervous? And I was like, oh my God. Anyway, I was like, of course.
Oh,
And
that's so
the rest is
cute.
history.
So the two other options were really just like, how do you want to celebrate?
Yeah.
Which I already had in my mind.
Yeah.
which was
So
nice.
then what did you do after?
What did you choose?
We stayed at the Oxford House.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So nice. It
Oh,
was a beautiful stay. It was the best. And yeah, I seriously feel like, I don't know. Very happy.
oh, that's so cute. Well, that is a hard launch, and you've done
I
it right here on
know.
First
I know.
Things
What the hell?
First. And our producer's standing in the back looking very happy and proud.
Oh my gosh.
Proud dad over there.
What a hard launch. I haven't even posted anything.
I know. Well, if you think about how long we've had this podcast and the absolute turmoil and shitty, but, comedic / content
Yeah.
heavy dates and fuck show of a list lineup of dudes that I've dated. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It actually feels amazing.
This is for love, not for the plot.
Honestly.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah, no. Here is not a plot line. I mean,
Love
A
it.
good plot line.
It's a great
A long
story.
plot,
Yeah.
hopefully.
so yeah, there you have it. We've got to wrap up. But all right,
congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to our love story. It actually does feel like a bit of a love story.
You know what's so
It's
funny?
nice.
The viewers at home won't know this, but this episode had nothing to do with this. And
no, and it took a turn.
and we are so, I'm so happy that it did, because it's like you two, genuine love, and I'm really happy for you both.
Oh,
It
thanks, mate.
started with a prank and it ended with a love story. That's how this Valentine's Day goes.
That's how your Valentine's Day
No, we love you. Anyways, that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for listening to First Things First.
If you love what you hear, leave us a rating or a little review. If you want to hear anything else on the pod, reach out via our socials.
My handle is at Brooke.Blend and Maddie's handle is at It's Maddie Mills.
And where can they find me? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, God. Check out the episode and you might know. Show notes. See ya. Bye.